So my house is all packed up to move and I don't actually have any utensils to make anything. So let's see how good this goes. This is something very simple. I'm doing it for an event tomorrow. It's basically a easier version of queso blanco. So there's only 4 ingredients here, and that's the, I guess I'll just go over them in a bit. Okay, here are our 4 ingredients. We have cream cheese, we have a single large green chili, we have the pickled jalapenos, and sour cream. That's about all we need to start off. You can add other stuff if you want to change the flavor up a little bit, like, you know, salt, pepper, whatever. There's plenty of salt in the jalapenos already, so you don't really need to add much in there, but whatever you want, essentially. Yeah, so I'm leaving the cream cheese out to get a little bit softer because it's hard to blend when it's really cold. The only thing we really need to do here is we roast the green chili over the fire, but I have an electric stove, so there isn't really any fire. And I'll just see how this goes. We put it in a bag afterwards so it can steam itself. That way we can peel the skin off. And then we put that in with the jalapenos and everything goes good. Anyway, everybody say thank you to Zach for letting me borrow his tongs and his blender because mine are packed away so I won't be able to use them. I also accidentally packed away my camera stand, so I now have my phone propped up against a little thing on the table there. So whatever works. Oh, and before I forget, this whole thing cost a total of $7. So luckily these types of cheeses are a little bit cheaper. So you can get all this made for $7 and then you can scale it up or down depending on how much you want for whatever you're hosting. So other than that, this recipe was actually taught to me by a family friend who worked at a restaurant owned by one of my teachers. And that was when I was first introduced to this type of salsa. And it was my favorite in the whole world. I absolutely love it. I hope all of you love it too. It's similar to Macayos if you've been to Arizona. So yeah, let's go ahead and see. So we're going to start by attempting to cook this over the stove. I've never done this on an electric stove, so we're going to see how good this goes. Well, just as I thought, this doesn't work very well on an electric stove, but this is about as good as we're gonna get. So what we do now, well, I guess I should explain this a little more. Your goal here is to make all of the skin charred so that it can peel off easily. So these little sections that aren't charred are gonna be a little harder to peel, but it's kind of hard to do all that on electric skillet, or the stove top, excuse me. So I'm going to try to get this as good as I can, and then we're just going to put it right in. Right. I'll let this cool off a tiny bit before I actually put it in the bag because it might melt the plastic. So in there, we'll let it steam itself. That'll make the skin easier to peel off. So I'll see you in a little bit, maybe like 15 minutes or so. So it's been about 20 minutes. We'll go ahead and attempt to peel this. And I'll see how good the electric stove grilling went. It's not that bad. It smells pretty good. See how you can just rub the skin off at this point? It makes it pretty easy when you grill it. Of course, using an actual fire works better, but this seems to have done pretty good. And the last thing you do is you just peel this apart and take all the seeds out. There, now it's ready to go in. Now normally we would use an immersion blender for this because the cream cheese is kind of hard to blend up since it's pretty solid. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in first. It's been sitting out here warming up, so it should be a little easier to blend. But at the same time, it'll make it harder to peel out of this thing, so maybe I should have at least put that in first and then let it warm up. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. I'm putting them on the side like that so that I can pour some of the jalapeno juice in later so it has a bit of liquid on the bottom. That way the cream cheese doesn't settle. Let's go ahead and put our peeled pepper in. And now the sour cream. So your goal here with these is a 50-50 ratio with sour cream and cream cheese. So it's kind of hard to get all this together, but... And there we go, making a mess again. But it should settle out once you start blending. And at this point, we just put the jalapenos in directly. Sorry, there was a seal on that. So this one's a guessing game. You just kind of blend in however many, makes them evenly dispersed. I bought this because I'm planning on just dumping the whole thing in, but I want to put a little bit in and then try to blend it first. So for this one, you put in both the jalapenos and the jalapeno pickling juice. Now, let's go ahead and see what we got so far. If I can get this to seal. All right, I've never used this before, so. Now you just check to make sure that it's evenly blended. So here we've got a few jalapenos left over, but you can kind of stir those around so that it blends those up too. And this is still pretty thick. You add more juice to thin out the consistency. So I'm going to go ahead and do exactly what I said before. Let's dump the whole thing in. Because you can never have too many jalapenos. And once you blend up all the jalapenos, then you're done. That's it. So, enjoy. So here's the final product. So is it technically queso or is it salsa? The world may never know.